Porcelain begins with something almost invisible, a choice of earth. In northern China, generations of potters learned that certain clays could survive intense heat and emerge pale, resonant, and remarkably strong. That discovery did more than create beautiful vessels. It changed the rituals of tea, the language of imperial taste, and the way distant cultures imagined China. This landscape, on the eastern side of the Taihang Mountains, became one of the great laboratories of Chinese ceramics. Here, white was never simply a color. It was purity, confidence, restraint, and a surface on which fire could reveal its own intelligence. The story moves through three celebrated traditions: Xing, Cizhou, and Ding. Together, they show how ordinary clay became a record of Chinese civilization. In Nikyu, Hebei, archaeologists uncovered the remains of the Xing kilns, once among the most prestigious ceramic centers of the Tang Dynasty. Xing ware was valued at court for its clean body, smooth glaze, and disciplined form. Its beauty was not built from elaborate ornament. A bowl, ewer, or jar could appear complete through proportion alone. That simplicity matched the confidence of the Tang world, cosmopolitan, wealthy, and open to exchange across Asia. White porcelain also carried a technical promise. A pale body could reflect light through a clear glaze, making the vessel seem brighter and more refined than common earthenware. The finest examples were thin without feeling fragile, restrained without feeling empty. They expressed an idea that would return throughout Chinese art. Complexity could be mastered, then concealed. To create an object that looks effortless, the maker must control every invisible decision. Clay preparation, wall thickness, glaze chemistry, kiln placement, temperature, and cooling all had to work together. The whiteness of Xing ware was therefore not emptiness, but accumulated knowledge. During the Tang Dynasty, porcelain entered one of the most influential partnerships in Chinese cultural history: tea. Tea was becoming a sophisticated social practice, and the vessel shaped how its color, aroma, and texture were perceived. The writer Lu Yu compared the white wares of Xing with the green celadons of Yu in his classic of tea. His famous contrast helped define a lasting ceramic geography: green in the south, white in the north. The difference was aesthetic, but it was also geological. Different minerals, kiln designs, fuels, and firing atmospheres produced different visual languages. A white cup could make dark tea appear warm and luminous. A celadon bowl could soften the same liquid with a cool green reflection. Ceramics were not passive containers. They participated in taste, turning an everyday drink into an experience of color, touch, sound, and ritual. As Chinese wares traveled westward, porcelain itself became a symbol of rarity and status. In several European languages, the material became inseparable from the name of its place of origin: China. Every ceramic tradition begins below the surface of the land. The Taihang Mountains contain layers formed through immense geological change. Ancient seas, compressed sediments, uplift, erosion, and time. Within those layers, potters found clays with different proportions of silica, alumina, iron, and fluxing minerals. Some clays could become pale at high temperature. Others remained gray, warm, or dark, demanding a different solution. This is why nearby kiln centers could develop radically different identities. The land did not dictate a single outcome. It set the problem that each community had to solve. Potters washed, levigated, aged, blended, and tested their materials, transforming geological accident into a repeatable craft. Even then, no batch of clay was perfectly identical to the last. Craft knowledge lived in the hands: how the clay resisted pressure, how quickly it dried, and how it sounded after firing. A porcelain bowl is therefore a compressed landscape. Its color and strength preserve the memory of mountains millions of years old. About 130 kilometers away, the Cizhou tradition answered imperfect clay with imagination. Many local bodies did not fire to a brilliant white, so potters covered them with a pale liquid clay known as slip. That new surface became a canvas. Artisans painted flowers, birds, fish, bold leaves, calligraphic strokes, and scenes from ordinary life in iron-rich pigment. After glazing and firing, the decoration appeared dark against the light ground with exceptional energy. Cizhou ware was often made for a broad market rather than only for the court. Its directness is part of its power. The brush could move quickly, leaving evidence of the maker's speed, pressure, and confidence. No two painted vessels needed to be perfectly alike. Variation was not a defect. It was the trace of a living workshop. Cizhou kilns also explored deep black glazes and unpredictable kiln transformations. Iron in the glaze reacted to temperature and oxygen, producing surfaces that could look metallic, smoky, crystalline, or almost liquid. The kiln could be guided, but never completely commanded. That uncertainty gave each successful piece an identity that could not be manufactured twice. Traditional accounts say that a finished ceramic object may pass through 72 processes. The number expresses more than a literal checklist. It describes a chain in which every stage depends on the one before it. Clay must be selected and prepared before it can be wedged, centered, thrown, trimmed, joined, carved, painted, glazed, dried, loaded, and fired. A mistake made early may remain hidden until the final hours in the kiln. A wall that is slightly uneven can warp. Moisture trapped in the body can become steam and break the piece. A glaze applied too thickly may run. Too thinly, it may lose depth. The kiln then magnifies every decision. At high temperature, the clay body begins to vitrify, and the glaze becomes a glass-like skin. The maker cannot simply open the door and correct the work. There is only preparation, observation, and the humility to accept loss. This is why handwork carries memory. Each gesture belongs to one person, but the method has been refined by many lives. Farther north in Quyang, the Ding kilns developed another language of white porcelain. During the Song Dynasty, Ding ware became celebrated for warm ivory glaze and decoration carved, incised, or molded into the body. The finest designs are shallow, yet they transform as light moves across the vessel. Lotus petals unfold around a bowl. Peonies emerge from a surface only a few millimeters thick. The decoration does not sit on top of the form. It is built into the form itself. Song aesthetics are often described as quiet and restrained, but restraint did not mean technical simplicity. A controlled curve, an even wall, a clean carved line, and a glaze of consistent depth demanded extraordinary precision. Ding production once spread across a vast kiln complex, where large and small kilns filled the landscape with fire. War and economic change eventually interrupted that tradition for centuries. Its modern revival required more than copying museum objects. Makers had to reconstruct clay recipes, tools, carving methods, glaze formulas, supports, and firing schedules from fragments and repeated experiments. Revival became a form of research performed through the body. The past returned not as a frozen replica, but as knowledge that could once again produce new work. White porcelain is often spoken of as though it has only one color. In reality, its spectrum can move from snow white to ivory, warm cream, pale gray, translucent beige, and deeper tones shaped by iron and firing. The same local earth can reveal different results when purified differently, mixed with another material, covered with another glaze, or fired in another atmosphere. Color becomes a record of process. Across Hebei, the names Xing, Ding, Cizhou, Xing, and Tangshan mark distinct chapters in a much larger ceramic landscape. Some traditions served courts, others supplied towns, temples, markets, and households. Their objects crossed social boundaries because ceramics belong to both art and daily life. A vessel can carry tea, grain, flowers, incense, medicine, or memory. Its survival allows us to see how people worked, traded, ate, worshipped, and understood beauty. The greatest lesson of these northern kilns is not that the past achieved perfection. It is that every generation transformed limitation into a new visual language. Gray clay became a white canvas. Uncertain fire became iridescent glaze. Broken traditions became living practice again. Earth, water, hands, and fire continue their conversation. And within that conversation, Chinese porcelain remains unfinished history.